happy to be here? Are you happy to be here?
Yeah!
How about you? But last year, obviously, that was my first time here and getting to experience this. Some of you were able to come the previous year, but it is such a blessing. Like Father Chase said, we are chosen to be here, and you also chose to be here. There's other places you could be. So I just want to thank you so much for being here, and I'm happy to be here. So some of you may have heard my story, my testimony, but I just want to share with you and go deeper into it. So I started playing soccer when I was 5 years old, and I had this desire, this burning desire. I wanted to be the best. I wanted to go play. When I was about 14 years old, I had this burning passion in my heart. I wanted to play in a World Cup. I wanted to play in the Olympics, and that was my dream. That was my goal. And so I set goals and I went after that. And all in this time, you know, I grew up in a Catholic family. We went to church every Sunday, and we were in religious education groups, and we learned about Jesus, and we were doing that. But it came a time when I was in college. So I was so excited. I got to go to the University of Notre Dame, and that was a dream because I wanted to be my soccer, my faith, my education. But going there were a lot of distractions here in college. I mean, I went there and I was like, I want to go and I want to be part of a team where we win 4 national championships. Like, everything was soccer. Everything was soccer. But I started to have this burning desire in my heart to grow with the Lord. Like, something was pulling me, yet I was distracted. Do any of you get distracted in your prayer life? Where it is so hard to pray? Or we're sitting here in adoration, and we're just like, man, I'm here, and all I can hear are the kids screaming and playing here, or the train coming by, right? We get distracted. So in college, mine was soccer and boys. I liked hanging out with a lot of boys, okay? So that was that. And I had this conviction, like, man, I want to pray. I want to pray more. But I found it where days would go, sometimes weeks, where I wouldn't take the time and sit in prayer. And then I felt guilty. I'm like, man, I want this. So after college, went through that and ended up playing professionally. So right out of my college season, the pro league started, and I was able to play professional soccer. Got drafted by LA. Got to go live with a host family in Malibu. Has anyone been to Malibu? Yeah. Never seen a Malibu. It was gorgeous. We played in a stadium. 15,000 people, opening game. I mean, it's like, this is professional soccer. We are living the life. We have sponsors. Marta, does anyone know Marta? No, we talked about her before. She was on our team. I mean, everything was coming towards this. And so my dream and my goal again is still, even though I'm playing professional soccer, I still have dreams to go play at the highest level in the Olympics. And so I still have this desire that I want to pray more. I wasn't taking the time. Now we're out here, right, we're putting in practice. We really want to be good at something. We've got to put in practice. Have any of you heard the 10,000 hour rule? Some of you? Yeah? So to be great, we've got to put in the work. And so I was doing that with soccer. And I was doing that every day. I was training, I was getting the right nutrients, I was sleeping, I was staying away from things that kept me from soccer. But I wasn't necessarily doing that with my faith life. I wasn't necessarily taking that same time to grow in my faith, to go to church every day, and to take that. And it takes effort, right? So through this, obviously you guys see me, I'm in a boot. You guys are probably like, well, there she is again. But this rookie season was the start of this huge transformation. Transformation of my mind, transformation of my body, and the start of this surrender. And so that year, when I played in LA, actually had a great season. Played every single game. After the first game, ended up getting called with the U.S. Women's National Team. And that entire season, played with the U.S. Women's National Team. Traveled overseas, traveled to camps, and it was amazing. But I started having this foot pain, honestly, right away, in March and in May. And it was one of those things that I kept pushing through, like, I can do it. I don't know, I mean, some of you, I get a little bit intense when I'm out in training because I'm just super passionate. Do you guys see it, or am I kind of chill? Or do you guys see it? Okay? I don't know how to do it any other way, so I'm like, I can do it. I can push through it. Do any of you try to muster through things like, I can do it, I don't need help? Yeah. Yeah? Yeah? I can do it on my own. I can do it. And that's kind of how I did. I fought through. And one of my favorite movies is Gladiator. So I was like, I can push through this, okay? I'm a warrior. But the problem is, we start to build pride in that. We start to build pride in areas that we don't necessarily want, but through those injuries, it was in that season I ended up having double foot surgery after that. And through my career, teams folded, the league folded. I went on and played in more teams. I ended up playing 7 years. Went to LA, DC, moved around, a bunch of different teams. I had to work my way back up. And then I got injured, played a rough season. Then team folded, go to another team. And so constantly it was all these things. And I was like, man, life's happening. Life's happening to me and I'm getting frustrated, but I'm gonna work harder. Does that ever happen? If I work harder, I'll get it. And don't get me wrong, as you can see, we have to work hard. And I want to be honest, we want to be our best. So the harder I worked, the more you build up, I can get back. I'm a warrior, I can get back up. And then it was again and again and again. And it finally, through the years, it was a continuous. When Kanji said, you just get the knockout, I felt like I kept getting knocked out, but then no, I can get up. And then I try to just fight through that. And it was in those moments that God was just, it was just like those little moments where he was piercing me be still. And I'm like, I can get up, be still. And my heart started to transform. I fell to my knees oftentimes, crying out and in pain and frustrated. Be still. I don't know how to be still, I want to keep going. But every time that happened, there were moments where humility was starting to, my pride was building up because I was like, I want to be the best version of myself, but it became I want to be, okay? And so these moments of and through this, had 11 surgeries, went through injuries and everything like that. And it was after there was a moment where I was like, why? Not a moment. The whole time I was like, why, God? I am giving you everything. I'm giving my best effort. Why are you doing, why'd you put this desire in my heart to then take it away? And every time that happened, I was kind of getting angry and mad. Why'd you put this desire in my heart? And one time it was right after I torn my ACL. And I was actually at Mass with my parents because it was opening game in 2014. And I was at Mass and I was angry and I was frustrated because I couldn't kneel. When you tear your ACL, it just blows up like a balloon. And I'm semi trying to kneel and I'm just frustrated and I'm looking down and I'm looking at my wrist. And I had sandals on and I'm looking at the surgery in my foot. And I have a moment of just why? And I look up and there's Jesus on the crucifix. Think about the nails in his hands, the nails in his feet. I broke a rib a couple years earlier right here, and I started looking at where all my wounds were. And I started to look at Jesus and how many wounds he had in a lot of similar places, and it hit me. And it was one of those moments I was like, why me? Why do you love me so much that you keep chasing after me? That no matter how many times I fall, you keep pursuing me. And it was through friends, and it was through family, and it was people encouraging me. And as Father Chase said, we can isolate ourselves, right? When something bad happens, and we start blaming, and we get angry at the pain, we start to blame, friends, or we take that out on our peers. So it said we are chosen, but unity. Sometimes when we get frustrated on the soccer field, what happens? When we get real frustrated, does it start happening? Pointing fingers, right? And so we get angry. And then I started to get resentful and bitter, right? And there's these times when you're just like, why? And through that example of the cross and just feeling this weight was taken off my shoulders. And then the anger and the bitterness was just this weight lifted off. And we think, okay, and we work through that, and then we're more in our faith life. Do you guys ever have those moments when you are knocked down and all of a sudden you start going to Mass, start praying the rosary, and then you're feeling some weight lifted off of you, and that peace comes? Well, I started doing that. What happens when we do that? Maybe we start to rely on our own strength again. And we take these burdens that were never meant for us. And we take extra pain, some out of pride, but some because we think we have to suffer. Or we almost compare ourselves to someone else's suffering. And that was just such a huge moment in my faith walk. And I continue. You guys, you see I come here with a broken foot. I was so excited to play, let me just tell you. And I come here in a couple weeks or month and a half before the camp, break my foot. And then I go back into that place, starting to build. But it's the friends around you, right? It's the friends, and it can fall back into those old habits. I just want to share a story with you, knowing like all of this for a bigger purpose. Soccer was my dream, my passion, is to be a part of it. But it's not our will, but God's will. As Sinovio said, and Father Chase, look, I wanted to be a professional soccer player, but God's will is bigger and will give you more fulfillment, more freedom. And I'm still working through it every day, every time we fall. But there was a moment, as I look back, in the moment I was frustrated. But I tore my ACL, we've got a crowd, we're in a stadium, and so we go up the tunnel. And I'm frustrated, another injury, and I'm embarrassed at this point. So I start thinking about, what are the people going to think of me? Oh, there's Bock, she's injured again. Oh, if she could just stay healthy. And sometimes does that happen to you? Maybe you've done something, whether we've had sin or something has happened, and someone really, then they see you and they push that in your face, like, oh, like, you lied about this, or we stepped away from this, and we start to then see that ourselves as our identity. Do you guys do that? And like those lies start to creep in? So anyways, I'm coming back out of the locker room with guilt and shame and frustration and what are people going to think? And I always wanted to say I play for him. And I said that. But I started to operate